It's time to get real with Eddie, here to help you understand the changing real estate market and meet your real estate goals. Over 19 years in the business. 2018 Realtor of the Year of Three Rivers. Past president of the Three Rivers Association of Realtors. Director at the Illinois Association of Realtors and team lead of the Ruettiger Group at Baird Warner. Here's Eddie Ruettiger.
And welcome to 2023.
Crazy.
Felt like it just was 2022 a year ago.
Yeah,
hey,
a whole
you
year
want to
ago.
swing the mic in front of you?
Oh.
I'm like,
do I need that?
Yes, you do. I'm like, why am I not hearing you? I had the mic on.
Because I don't have it in front of me.
I'm sitting here going, oh man, this is a smooth start. Computer's working, everything's going. Didn't even notice you didn't put the mic in front of you.
Welcome to 2023.
All right. Thought we were going to start off perfect. I guess I was wrong. How was your New Year's?
It was great.
Really?
How was yours?
Good. We had friends over and, played a bunch of games. So, played Floor is Lava with Eddie before. Like, literally, there is a board game.
Floor is Lava.
Floor is Lava.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes. So, we played that before he went to sleep. And, because he did not make it to midnight. He just does not have that endurance yet. 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, out.
Tapping out, yeah.
Yeah.
But, we were talking about this because the next day we had a blast. We went to the Hawks game. Unfortunately, they lost. But took Eddie with. It was his second game ever going.
How'd he do?
Really good, except Dad forgot to bring earphones and,
Oh.
And he does have an issue with loud noises.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about it, my son is very tall. You look at him, some people think he's 7 or 8 because of how tall he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But the fact of the matter is, he just turned 6. He's not, it's not like he's 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
He just turned 6. So some of the things like with noises and stuff, that's still normal for him. But here's the cool thing, and I have to give huge props to the United Center and the Blackhawks organization, and I'm sure the Bulls organization too. All of them are probably involved in this. I ran because it was really bugging him. First period, the adrenaline and the excitement. Second period, it was starting to get to him. They had it cranked down or cranked up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hawks started falling behind, and I looked at my wife, and I'm like, they've turned the volume down. Afterwards, the volume on the stuff that goes in between the puck drops and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
They turned down the volume. But I ran over towards the end of the second to guest services, dropped my ID for no charge. They had headphones,
Nice.
noise headphones for him.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So he had those on, and he doesn't like the big horn. The horn does bug him. So
It is kind of obnoxious.
oh, it's loud. It is completely loud, absolutely. So, but when Dad's looking and going, yeah, it's loud in here, after 25 years of being a professional DJ, it's loud because it's loud. I know when it's
Well,
loud.
you got the crowd, you got everything, you got the sound system.
And it was the sound
It's loud.
system. They upgraded their sound system 2 years ago, and they put in a whole new sound system, and they put in a whole new Jumbotron screen. It's gorgeous and beautiful. So if anybody that has issues with loud noises and you're going to the United Center, yes, you go over to guest services. I believe it's gate 2. I don't know if there's any other locations, but they can give you headphones.
That's
and
awesome.
That was really cool.
That
No
is
charge,
really
too.
awesome.
I just dropped off, gave him my ID and had to bring it back. And there was a little bag, which was nice because I could carry it in the bag, run it back.
Nice.
Yeah. So, good times. Definitely good times. All right. As promised, we talked about it on the last show.
We did.
And our expected forecasts for the housing market. I got the same article that just as a placeholder. So what is ahead for 2023?
Share with me, will you?
Oh, I thought I did. Hold on a second. Dun, 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 dun.
Sharing is caring.
Everybody's going, what do you mean share with me?
Sharing is caring.
So we're on the same page, folks. We actually use Zoom to keep us going with all these articles and know where we're at, and everybody's going. So, all right, here we go. Where do you think, I got my number in my head. Where do you think mortgage rates will be we're going to go, are we going December? Yes, December.
December of 2023.
Do you want to predict what they're going to do? Well, things are going to go all year long and December?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I'll go there. You got pen and paper by you, don't you?
I got right here.
Look at that. We're prepared today. All right. So mortgage rates. Where do you think rates are going to be?
I'm writing this down.
All right. What do you
You're going to sign it at the...
What do you think rates are going to do, and where do you think they'll be at?
Okay, what I think they're going to do
Okay.
is I think it's going to be volatile for a while.
Okay.
I think we're going to go up as high as probably pretty close to 7 again.
Okay. Okay.
We're sitting at 6, or we're just a couple of days ago. We were sitting at 6.
Let's see if I can pull that up. Keep talking.
Did not check today. I think we could even dip as low as 5.7 maybe. But I think we're going to end up even at 5.5. I could see some stuff being out there at 5.5, but I'm going to say we're going to end up. I'm going to say we're going to end up at 6.
So I think we're going to be a little lower.
Do you?
I do.
How much lower?
I think we could be at 5.5 come December.
Okay.
Okay. Now, does that mean, hold out for it? No, because you don't really know. These are just educated guesses, folks. We don't know, as we learned last year for sure, because we were all in threes. Maybe 3.5, 3.7.
4 was going to be unheard of last
Yes.
year. We fell on our faces. So give it for what it's worth. An educated guess is still just that, a guess.
Exactly.
Where is it going to be in the meantime? Do you feel like it's going to be steady down?
I think it's going to be, just like you said, volatile all year long. I'm not sure where the volatility would be at. Let me see. Yeah, I saw one number as of December that rates were at 7.5 on an FHA 30-year fixed.
Okay. Well, I just spoke with Pat Parks just a couple of days ago,
Okay.
our buddy Pat Parks. And he was letting me know that we were at 6.
Okay. And
so now that was a few days ago.
and the 10-year Treasury note I did see this morning was at 3.74. And we've been about 3 points, so that would put it about 6.74, 6.75. I'm trying to pull it up on Yahoo because Yahoo really usually has a good number.
Well, now you got me wondering.
Yeah, so
But again, I think it's going to be very volatile, and you would agree with that.
I agree. It's going to be volatile. So here's my advice is anytime you see it, if you're getting something at 6 or under, lock it in. Don't take the chance.
Yeah.
It's not worth a quarter or a half a point. If you can get anything, I would say anything under 6.25, lock it up.
Oh, yeah. And let's say it goes down to 5.25.
Refi.
Refi.
Yes. Refi. Especially if you're a first-time home buyer. Because again, it is better, a rent payment is 100% interest. So keep that in mind. But I think I think there's a chance we're going to be around 5.5.
I think we'll land at 5.5 next
I do.
December.
I do. I think you're going
I would love to see that. And I think
the market will take off in the later half of the year.
Yeah.
You're going to see that aspect. All right, so that's mortgage rates.
okay, mortgage rates.
Where do you think pricing will be?
I think that is going to be very micro market. And when I say micro market, it's not only towns, zip codes, it's going to be price points.
Neighborhood to neighborhood.
Neighborhood
almost.
to neighborhood.
Yeah, and that's very true. But we got to throw something out there. Do we want to look at a countywide or maybe Joliet, Plainfield, because those are our two biggest markets in this area?
Yeah, county average countywide, I would say pretty conservative, probably about 3%.
That's where I'm at. I think Will County will be up 3%. I think Grundy County will be up 1.5%.
Yeah, I don't see Grundy going up as high.
It's not. There's not as much development in Grundy County.
Yeah.
You are out from most of the major employment opportunities. So that's going to be a big aspect of it.
Yes.
All right.
New build's going to play a bigger role in Will County.
And depending on what the new builds do, it'll be interesting. Where do you see total amount of units in the country at sold?
Oh gosh. I don't. That's that's a real crapshoot. 3.5 mil.
Oh wow! Really?
Mm-hmm.
That low?
I think it's going to be super low.
That's less than what we sold this year.
I know, and I think because with the volatility of the rates, with the current issues we're facing, builders have pulled back. I really think it's going to be low.
I think it's going to be low too, but I don't think it's going to be that low.
You don't think it's going to be that low?
No, you're taking another 1 million at least units off the sale for this year compared to this year. I think you're looking at 4.75. Maybe 5 million units total, but I think it's going to be around 4.75.
Yeah, see, I don't see it. In a lot of markets, prices on homes are going to go down, and I think that's going to freak people out. Like these markets that bubbled up so fast, like San Francisco and places in Nevada, and some of these places that increase prices, 40, 50, 80%. These crazy market. That's why I said it's going to be up to micro markets.
Yes.
I think those markets aren't going to see a lot of movement.
But with that being said, keeping in mind, the last number I just saw for a median sales price in this country is $400,000. Okay.
Okay.
So I was looking at some charts and some data
that's gone up quite a bit then, because it was like $350,000.
Yes, it's around $400,000 now. We peaked over November in that. So October, actually, it was like September, October. It was the data. It was data coming from NAR.
Oh, okay.
I thought about using it for the show, but it wasn't a complete stack to the end of the year. It was their forecasting for next year, and it was just like, I didn't want to go down the whole, because it was a good amount of slides and make the show all about what they're predicting and what they're looking at for next year. The biggest aspect, I think, if you look at Joliet as an average town, they're 30% down in sales. All right. So I think we're hitting that aspect. And if we peaked at 6.5 million units.
Okay, now we're talking micro market again, not national.
But I'm talking national, 6.5 million units, and you use them as a example of a 30% drop, that's going to put us at 4.5 million.
Okay.
So I think we're probably going to finish this year around 4.5. I think when we get all the numbers in, it'll be 4.5 million. But I do see a small increase next year because there's people holding off, and you can only hold off for so long. And then you still have those, life events that trigger
okay, well, maybe I am being super conservative.
Oh, yeah. Okay, can I say?
But I don't think it's going to be.
I think the difference between our numbers here is experience. Just because I've been just doing this for so long, I don't remember selling less than 4 million in a year, even during the Great Recession. I mean, the numbers may be there where we did dip under 3 million in a year, but.
Well, and that's why I said 3.5.
Because I getting under 4 million units
now,
would be shocking.
Depending on interest rates. if interest rates get down to 5.5 and stay there,
Yes,
like
level
how
off.
fast they come down and stay there,
Yes.
I think that'll,
Yeah.
things will start booming.
Yeah, and you're going to see those rates start, I think, closing that gap that we've talked about very soon. So, all right, let's jump. Anything else we want to look at for predictions for next year? Total units sold, we talked about.
Yeah, you said
Rates,
4.7.
7.5.
Oh, okay.
I like those quarter numbers, the magical numbers.
Yes. The fives.
I think that's pretty much kind of where I'm thinking the market's going. Now, of course, folks, these are all guesstimates, and you don't know. There could be something that could happen tomorrow that would change this.
Look at how fast things change.
Jobs. That's going to be the biggest
9/11.
issue.
Look what
Yes.
that happened. I mean, look at how the
Started
whole
my
world.
career post 9/11
Yeah.
in real estate. There was nothing moving for 6 months. Nothing. It took me 6 months to do my first transaction. The only thing that was closing were the stuff that was already under contract and already out there. It took 6 months to really start getting any kind of traction or anything.
Yeah.
So I think jobs are going to be a big issue. We need to watch that jobs market. We start seeing a lot of layoffs and a lot of unemployment. That's going to be a concern.
Mm-hmm.
I also think gas prices are still going to be a issue. If you see gas take off again and get back up near $4 again or $5 again, it has such an impact on so many sectors pertaining to the inflation number that right now we're doing well because with gas prices, because there's been a lot of demand toned down worldwide, not just nationally, but worldwide.
Yeah.
Because we're not the only ones raising interest rates. There's banks all over the world for their own economies.
Everybody's got inflationary issues.
Correct.
So everybody's trying to do the same thing to get it all under control.
All right. Really quick, pending home sales slid 4% in November. We've kind of talked about November numbers a little bit, a lot. Waiting on December and end of the year. We've got numbers for Joliet today, which I think we've touched on once or twice. But I really wanted to cover these comments. I saw this and I'm like, oh, somebody's listening to the show. I'm just saying they are listening to the show. All right, confused about what's going on in the housing market? Lean on a professional. All right. Jay Thompson, real estate industrial consultant, explains what, Nancy?
Jay explains housing market headlines are everywhere. Many are quite sensational, ending with exclamation points or predicting impending doom for the industry. Clickbait, da-da-da. The sensationalizing of headlines and content has been an issue since the dawn of the internet, and the housing news is not immune to it. What have we been saying for...
It's clickbait for 3 months, 4 months.
We've been saying it for like 2 years now.
No, I don't know if it's not
a
been
year.
that long.
A year.
I think we started about 3-4 months ago, really leaning in on that clickbait. I don't think it's been a year. I don't think it's been all year. It was really at least the second half of this year. But Jay, I think you listen to the show, and we appreciate you supporting us. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It has been a clickbait. There is one, I don't know why Google puts it in front of me, and I'm not even going to say what it is. There is one website that you would think we are heading to, Mad Max Thunderdome times with their real estate predictions of what's going on.
I think I've seen the same thing.
I'll say it. It's Fortune.com.
I had to laugh.
Is it that same one for you? Because that's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
They're ridiculous. They pin all of their research and data on Zellman, who's, screaming the house is on fire because they want the clickbait and they want the attention. It is completely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What, Jason Luris? Would you go Luris?
Luris.
All right. Co-founder and chief data officer at Parcell says, in the absence of trustworthy up-to-date information, real estate decisions are increasingly being driven by fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell, you need to be getting data from whoever you're choosing to work with. The same data we're about to read on the show right now for Joliet, any agent can pull this. Anybody can pull this.
And if they don't, they may be pulling it and looking at it and not letting you know. Ask them. Ask them to see it. Ask them what it all means.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. Keep in mind, do you need to look more local? We're going to give you numbers on Joliet. Yes, because it's not about selling Joliet. It's about selling that neighborhood. It's about selling apples to apples and comparing what you're going to buy or what you're going to sell to the similar product that is there. All right? It comes down to one thing I learned during the Great Recession, the rule of substitution. Can I go out and buy the same house or very, 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 very similar house, because nothing's exactly the same because of location, location, location. But can I go buy the same thing for the same price, cheaper or more expensive? It's really all this comes down to. All right, so Joliet median sales price for November, like I said, we're still waiting on December numbers. 220,000 up 2.3% year over year. $235,076 up 4%, up 4%, not 4.4. Trailing 12 months, you're looking at 230,000 up 2.6%, and the average sales price is 244,216 up 7.4%. So we're going to probably finish the year off in Joliet around 7% up on the average, probably 2.5 on the median.
Which that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
and
Joliet has a very diverse housing stock.
Oh,
I mean, there is a lot of stuff that's old. There's a lot of stuff that's new. There is a lot of stuff from when you're looking at price ranges, from houses that are, under $100,000 to stuff that's over $1 million.
Yeah.
Not all communities have that diversity in their housing stock that Joliet has. So, all right. What does it all mean? Well, after the break, we are going to talk about it and talk about what your goals are in the housing market for this year. Keep it here with Get Real with Eddie.
A premier real estate professional, Eddie Ruettiger of the Ruettiger Group at Baird Warner.
Welcome back to Get Real with Eddie. If you got questions on the market, give Miss Valley a call. Nancy, where can they reach you at?
My number, 815-545-1162.
And we got that website all up and going now, right?
Yes.
All right, give me that website again.
It is valleydreamhomes.com.
Nancy did some modifications to our website, and so we had to go in and reprogram some stuff. Didn't realize it. Welcome to, being self-employed and, having to do everything yourself. You're your own IT department, your own customer support, everything.
Everything.
All right, so what are your goals in the housing market this year? It should be one of two things. Three things. Either you're looking to buy, or you're looking to sell, or you're looking to stay where you're at if you're not renting.
Yes.
That's it. If you're renting, you're looking to buy. Even with this 7.5% interest rate, or 8% interest rate, yes, you should be buying a house. So, Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, explains the key to making a good decision in this challenging housing market is to be laser focused on what you need now and in the years ahead, so that you can stay in your home long enough that buying is a sound financial decision. And we've talked about that.
Yes. Because if somebody, no big deal, if they're buying their dream home and they're planning on staying forever or for 10 years
10
or
years or
whatever,
more. Yep.
you're golden.
Yeah.
If
But-
you're looking for a 2-year, you might want to
Yeah, and that's the case you're going to rent.
Yeah.
If you're 2 years or less in this market, you're renting. If you're 3 years, you need to be talking to someone and evaluating. Maybe you are still renting. Maybe not. Maybe you should be buying.
Just kind of depends on running the numbers.
Yeah.
And that's why you need a professional, and a lender can help you figure that out.
Yeah. I mean, and it comes down to running the numbers, running the market growth, and I'm running, okay, how much am I paying down on principal to get that principal back when I sell?
Yeah.
So that's the big aspect. Because remember, you don't get anything back when you're renting. That monthly payment goes into the landlord.
Yep.
It's not maybe in the landlord's pocket. I don't want to sit here and like landlords are evil. They are doing something that needs to be done in the market because we need housing stock, we need housing supply, and rentals are your introduction to housing.
Yes.
They are the first step out of moving out of mom and dad's house.
Yeah. Or if you're relocating or
Yeah.
Transitioning, life transitions.
So let's
So-
really zero down on this. All right. So first off, what's motivating you? What is the reason you're looking to move? That is the first question I think you need to ask. So is it job? Is it school district? Is it size of the house? What are some other reasons why you may be motivated?
Yeah, just general relocation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a life change. You
Could
know,
be.
your knees aren't as good as they used to be, and you're ready to
So
downsize.
Yeah, that would be the size of the house, I think.
Right.
I
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So
I was thinking more along the lines of
stairs.
stability.
Yeah.
Stairs.
Stairs. I think stairs are another issue. True. I think that's a great example. The next question is, what does your next home look like? So there you go into no stairs.
Right.
Or maybe, well, we have a basement, but I don't have to go down there as much. You know.
Yeah. Or maybe stairs are okay, but you have a pool and a huge yard and you're just tired of the upkeep. That doesn't matter how old you are. If you're too busy to keep things going,
Yeah. Hey, you can't cut the grass. You can't cut the grass.
you can't get the grass cut. You got an acre, half acre, whatever. Yeah.
So
So,
the next question you really get into then is, how ready are you to buy? Do you have a down payment? All right.
yeah.
Do
Have you
you-
saved for closing?
Do
What
you
are-
have lender costs and closing costs? Have you been pre-approved? Did you hire a realtor? Having your realtor in your, on your sidelines ready to go 6, 12, 18 months out is a smart move because they can help you with all of the other options. Lender, lawyer, inspector. I mean, those are the three big ones.
Well, and just keeping you abreast of the situation, realtors are there to help you for the long haul, not just, okay, I'm ready to buy a house now.
Yeah.
That you keep in contact with them, you let them know the neighborhoods that they're interested in, what's going on in the neighborhoods, what's going on in the market. It's a long process. This isn't something, so lean into those people. Lean into the whole team.
And keep in mind, like Jay Thomas said on the last aspect, don't just watch the headlines because they are clickbait.
Yes.
We've been saying it here for months. It's clickbait. And so that's where you need that professional to clear through the mud and see what's really going on. Okay?
Right.
Because
and what's going on in San Francisco may not be what's going on in Plainfield or Joliet
Well,
or
Joliet's a great example. Let's look back at the numbers really quick.
Okay.
So, if I have a house that is priced at, $220,000, it is perfect, everything is there, ready to go. Going in 20% under list price is probably not a smart move. when the percentage of original list price received in November was 97.2%. Your market time is still down. We didn't touch on that in Joliet. It was 32 days. So houses are still selling extremely quickly. Actually, faster this November than they did last November.
Yeah. But those are that's the kind of information that you need as a buyer, a potential buyer,
Correct. Yeah.
to be aware of as you move through the process.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it makes some good sense to have those aspects and those numbers available. All right. I want to touch on some
And let's
fun.
face it, realtors love to talk about real estate. So anytime you pick up a phone and talk to a realtor, come on.
Yeah. What's the value? Honestly, you're getting ready to do your taxes right now. Now is the time you should be, because all the real estate agents, let's be honest, it's January. Nobody likes to look houses in Illinois in January.
No.
So call your realtor up and go, hey, want an update on my housing? You should know what the value of your house is. Now is the time. Shoot them a text message and say, not looking to sell this year, just want to get an updated value and get that report. Yeah. And if you ain't got one, call me, call Nancy. We're willing to shoot that number out to you. Yeah.
More than happy to.
So, all right, financial fundamentals for first-time homebuyers. All right, first off, building your credit. So if you're looking to buy a house, these are some of the things that you need to be focusing on and working on to be able to get into that house. All right, so tracking your credit, disputing errors that show up on any reports, stuff like that is huge. I have Chase, and I know Chase can run that. I have Capital One. Capital One gives me some scores and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They were telling me, actually, I got yelled at.
Because?
I don't have enough of open credit for what I'm running through and stuff. They want me to go open up another $20,000 or $30,000 in credit lines. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need that, but sure.
Well, they want that.
Because, yeah, and that would put me even higher on my credit score is what they said.
Yeah, because it's available.
Yes,
credit,
available credit.
not used.
Exactly. So, paying your bills on time. This is something I learned like when I was in my 20s because I hate late fees, first off. So pay your bills on time, which I think has become a lot more common.
Yes.
Because you have so many apps and stuff and auto pays and this and that.
Oh, it's so easy. You set up the auto pay and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I don't do auto pays, but still, it's so much easier.
90% of my stuff is all auto pay. Absolutely.
Well, I should say that most of my stuff is auto pay by the credit card, and then I just pay my credit cards direct off.
Yeah.
All right. So keeping your credit card balances low. Yes. If you have a 10%, 20%, 30, 50, 60, 80% of what your available credit being used, the higher that percentage goes, the lower your credit score goes.
Right.
So
you want to keep that
low.
Low.
Yes.
20%, 30 tops, because you're paying interest on it, too. Don't forget.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. Bankrate provides buyers with a number of tips to help you save, including searching for down payment assistance programs and ways you can save more faster. So they had an article out that talks about one of the best ways to save for anything, including a down payment, is to set it and forget it. If you receive a regular check, ask your employer to direct a portion of the payment into your savings account. If you're a freelance worker or an independent contractor, set up a recurring transfer from a checking account to a savings account to establish a routine. And my wife does this all the time.
Yeah. It's a great way to save.
I think the down from my employer, I think the employers only will direct deposit to one account. You got to go in and set it up, I think, with your banks.
With the bank.
And the banks will automatically go, okay, on this date, we'll move this, we'll move that, we'll move this, we'll move that.
Yep.
And it's just done.
It's done.
Yes. So
no worries.
These are some great tips, great ideas out there. All right. Before the break here, don't forget we have 1118 of Butler Street in Morris, Illinois for sale. This house has been completely remodeled from the floor joists up, folks. Yes, they went in, they had rotted floor joists, they replaced them all. This is a great house. You are looking at $185,000 in Morris, Illinois. They have built a great home. It's not just about the looks. They fixed the floor, leveled it off. They're honestly, when we saw it originally, it was like an arc.
Oh.
I'm not kidding you. There was about a 5-degree bend into one corner.
Oh man.
And they went in and they did an amazing
Fixed
job.
it right.
Fixed this right. This is not lipstick on a pig.
And how many beds is it?
It is a small unit. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. They opened up a wall, gave a more open feel between the kitchen and the living room. Mm-hmm. They redid the bathroom, tubs completely redone. You know, it's 2 bedrooms, $185,000 in Morris, but this is a solid house for sure. So definitely check that out. All right. Since it's the prediction show, I thought we'd finish it off after the break with the designers predicting the hottest home trends.
Oh, you know I love that.
I know you do, in 2023. So keep it here with Get Real with Eddie.
You made a smart move to Get Real with Eddie, helping you make your next smart move into your next home.
Welcome back to Get Real with Eddie. Check me out online, yourdwellings.com, or give me a call at 815-823-5478. Again, 815-823-5478. All right, we are already jumping into this article on the break and looking at some of this stuff. And the first one, Brittany Fairness?
Sure.
Creative director with
Farinas.
There you go. Creative director with House of One in Miami. I'm seeing shades of dark purple rising in the trends for 2023.
Okay, and let's talk about purple for just a second, because we're not talking grape. We're talking eggplant. Okay?
Well, yeah. Deep dark purples. I always think Prince purple when I see this.
Prince purple.
Yeah, because it was Prince's logo and everything.
Yeah. Oh, I love Prince. Believe me, that was back in my day.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
my day.
I got to see him in concert. It was amazing. And the photo they have is like an office space with a built-in. There's a bookshelf with some cabinets below, and then there's a desk in the middle. There's crown molding on the top of the ceiling, but they have the wall, the trim, the ceiling, all this purple, everything purple.
Okay, so this, and that's a good point to make. This is a trend right now, and it's not even just purple. It's like these peacock greens and just very moody, dark jewel tones. I haven't seen a lot of it in purple, but what I am seeing is a lot of the deep greens.
Okay.
Deep dark forest greens.
Well, I think
stuff.
green was 2022's color, if I remember.
Yeah, but they paint everything. Everything.
And you know what?
That's a huge trend right now with the big designers.
And I understand it's the designers, and you get into that, New York and LA aspect. I don't know if it funnels into Midwest, even maybe in downtown Chicago and stuff.
Oh, I see it.
You have.
I see it.
You've seen it out here.
My daughter-in-law just painted her.
Everything?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Really?
It's gorgeous.
I would want to see, white trim.
But you got to have the right house, and you got to have the right, because if you don't have a
such a dark
lot
color.
of light coming in,
yes,
it will suck the life out of your house.
It will make it very dark. It will make it very, so that, But power purple is the color. So,
Not that that's a bad thing, because I love me some purple.
take advantage of the idea, though. I mean, maybe you don't paint everything purple, but hey, I love purple, so paint an accent wall purple. Go back to that concept. Or paint everything but the trim and the ceiling, so if you don't have as much light. There are ways to incorporate the trend without, completely going insane.
Yes.
So, Stonehinged. So she also believes that in the middle of this year, we may see applications of natural stone being celebrated in the form of furniture, such as side tables, console TVs, and dining tables. That would be cool.
See it a lot already. It's already kind of a thing with side tables. It has been the last couple of years. It's really coming into its own, though. It's not just the designing market now. It's, you go into Home Goods, you go to TJ Maxx, you go, wherever, and you see a lot of the stone top with the metal feet, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
a lot of mix of stone.
My wife wants to go out and look for new furniture. So
yeah,
so
I love it.
As soon as the tree comes down, I think we're going to be out. I mean, honestly, looking.
Yeah.
So she is so
President's
ready.
Day sales.
Ooh,
Just saying.
That's a good idea. All right, mood lighting. So for bright ceiling tasks, lighting, a popular trend is LED strip lighting. You've seen this in all kinds of kids' rooms and stuff, where they're just buying the LED strips and hanging them up. But you're starting to see them put in behind trim, under beds, under tables now.
Yeah.
And it
in bathrooms under the
vanities.
Under vanities,
Yeah.
and then you have motion detectors, which is so cool.
Yeah.
In the bathroom at night. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
That is option. We have night lights in the bathrooms that are all motion detected.
Yeah.
So
nice.
and it wasn't working the other day, and the kid freaked out. He's like, "It's too dark. I can't see." So he's finally he's hitting that age where he's waking up in the middle of the night if he has to go potty. So, love. What is this next trend?
Fanciful fluting.
What is that?
Tarang and Dang, it's a big design house, also predict that fluting and reading details will continue to stay relevant in home interiors. We believe material usage, non-wood, and sizing will change to make this detail more interesting. They note in their forecast, fluting has been incorporated everywhere, from the back of a kitchen island to glass cabinet fronts.
All right, I am the kid that uses the 16 box of crayons. I got to be honest, I have never heard this term before. What is fluting?
Fluting, you'll see in etched glass or in flourishes. In design, you saw it. Think of the 1920s.
Okay.
Where in early 30s, where they have the decorative.
So the design in the glass.
Design.
Scratched into the glass?
No, not you can. That's
Okay,
one application. Or you'll see the carved fronts.
Okay.
Of console desks and things with that flourish on it.
That would be kind of cool. That would be very cool.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I just saw a meme. There's a lot going on Facebook with here's how it's done, here's cheaper, where it was the staircase and it came down and there's this gorgeous horse carved out of wood in the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's this or done cheaper, and it was a toy horse just hanging on the end of the stairs.
I think I've seen it.
So,
hilarious.
So that would be kind of fluting if someone is to take and at the end of the staircase, like carve a fixture or a figurine out of it or something.
It could be.
That would be considered it? Okay.
It could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very intriguing. Retro touches. Retro's always been around, I swear, for the last, decade. Like, everybody wants to go back to the 70s, then the 80s, then the 90s, and now it's 80s or 90s.
It's always been a thing. When I was a kid in the 70s, retro was the 50s.
50s. Yeah, that's true.
So you go back, and then previous to that, people were replaying with the 40s. So
the
it's
slab
normal.
Backsplash.
Yes.
Wow.
Love that.
Because no grout lines.
Exactly. No grout lines. So much easier to clean. But wow, what a statement.
Yeah.
It'd be just gorgeous.
Home office upgrades. So companies are focusing on work-life balance and more creating a design and space at home for work is a key professional who have the ability to work remotely, says Grady. I don't know where Grady was from. We're jumping kind of all around on this article. So definitely
Huge trend.
Yeah. And the home design, home office design, I think has been a trend since 2020, since COVID hit. People were scrambling trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to work from home? And with the work from home staying where it's been at for the last 2 to 3 years now, we're going into year 3, let's be honest. I don't see that changing. So
No, it's going to be, people will be hybrid, if not completely at home.
Yeah.
They're going to be hybrid.
We've
changed. Our world has changed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's changed for good. I don't see why my view is I think people should be judged on productivity, not judged by clocking in and clocking out.
Right.
I mean, so that's just how I look at things, but that's also our work life, let's be honest.
Yeah.
If we're not productive, we don't get paid. I mean, that's just a fact of the matter. If I can't service my client, there's nothing we're not getting a check.
Yeah.
So
Well, and bigger companies too have to think about corporate culture and that kind of thing. So, yeah, if you're working on your own a lot, you may not be able to garner that as well, and that's why hybrid's coming in. But I see a lot of people going to be at home, at least part-time.
Yeah, I can see people being at home. You've seen some calls to come back from work in some areas, but still, the biggest indicator of this is actually the real estate market. And you look at the commercial market and the office space vacancies.
Yeah.
I think the vacancies are up like 18, 19%, somewhere in there. So there is not a major rush to go back to the office when you're still seeing the vacancy rate so high. There's nowhere to put the people. They got to have a spot to put them if you're going to make them come back into the office.
Well, and then companies are reworking numbers and seeing that maybe they're saving money by having a smaller office and having people, like half their office is in Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, that kind of thing, and splitting things up.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So, interesting how it's all working out.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
But trends in the office now are catching up to trends at home. So, bottom line.
That is very cool. All right, that wraps it up. First show of the new year.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Absolutely, Happy New Year. Don't forget, check us out online at GetRealWithEddie.com. There 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. GetRealWithEddie.com.
Thanks for listening to Get Real with Eddie. Eddie Ruettiger is a realtor at Baird Warner in Plainfield, license number 475-141-896. Managing broker Steve Engel. For more information on your neighborhood, call Eddie at 815-823-5478 or visit yourdwellings.com.